Please tell your name and roll number.
Sir, I am Debabrata Maharana, and my roll number in OPSC 2022 examination is 306999.
Okay. And without telling your name and your domicile, please give us a brief introduction.
I have completed my 10th and plus 2 from Government High School Malkangiri and Government Junior Science College Malkangiri, and I am a Electronics and Communication Engineering graduate from Gandhi Institute for Technology, Bhubaneswar. I have worked for 6 years in a central public sector undertaking in Airports Authority of India. Currently, I am working as Assistant Collector in the Office of Sub Collector in Bhawanipatna, Kalahanti district in the cadre of Odisha Revenue Service.
Okay, fine. So you're already into civil service. So tell me something about your service, Odisha Revenue Service, when it was raised, and what is the main objective of the service, and what are the various posts that you will get under Odisha Revenue Service.
Odisha Revenue Service came into existence in the year of 2011 after restructuring of the earlier Odisha Administrative Service 1 and 2. There are 2 cadres that do exist. The intention behind creating this Odisha Revenue Service is to strengthen the service in the revenue specific departments. Earlier, as a OS officer, we have to work in both like lot of other department except revenue. So to provide a better hold to the personnels working under the revenue jurisdiction, so this service was created. And as a ORS, like Odisha Revenue Service personnel, we have to work as a different portfolios, like in the Tehsil office as an additional Tehsildar, in the collectorate and the sub-collectorate as a assistant collector, in the registrar office as a sub-registrar. Apart from that, in the secretariat, others in the training institutes for special LOA departments and OSD to different ministerial as per the requirement of the government.
Okay. So currently you are working as assistant collector.
Sir.
So tell us what is your job profile, what work you have been assigned with.
Sir, currently for me, I am looking after the sections like revenue, CRPC judgments, that is specified to CRPC 107, 110 and 144. Apart from that, election section I am dealing with. Remaining some GP section, miscellaneous certificate, issue of birth and death certificates, and establishment miscellaneous work.
So what are the automation tools that you're using, or the e-governance tools that you're using for all this work which you said?
So for revenue administration, we are using LRMS, that is a portal designed by NIC. So it's very convenient to keep a track of all the revenue cases, that conversion cases for agricultural land to non-agriculture purpose, for any division of land among the co-sharers with a mutual consent, like OLR 191C and others, miscellaneous certificates. So any kind of revenue related cases that used to come, it's very easy to keep track of because of the LRMS software. Apart from that, in election, we are using ERONet, one software that is being designed by ECI. So it is very convenient for the EROs to use that. Then similarly, the same is true for the assistant EROs and even to the DEOs at the block level. And in the election, another application that is it has very great impact in the recent time. The booth level officers nowadays they're using a Garuda application. It is a Android and iOS based application. So by the use of this one, the use of papers is completely eliminated. And keeping track of all the applications for the addition, deletion, modifications of the electorals is very easy, and so there is no need of any extra documentations, and even the security constraints that exist because of violations of sometimes the credentials of Aadhaar and other documents that can be negated very easily.
Okay. So you worked with Airport Authority of India from 2015 to 2022.
Yes, sir. January just like precisely 21 and
21 and okay. And you were posted in Rajahmundry, Chennai, and Bhubaneswar.
yes, sir.
So Chennai, obviously, it was relatively there's a bigger airport, right?
Yes.
As compared to Rajahmundry and Bhubaneswar. Okay. Have you? What is your opinion about private airports in India? Do we have private airports?
Yes, sir. There are a lot of private airports. Initially, it was Bombay, Chennai, and Bombay, Hyderabad, Bangalore, and Delhi. But recently, even Lucknow Airport, Jaipur Airport, even Cochin Airport. So there are 6 more airports that came into the private fold. So the exact need of the private airport is to immediate infrastructure development. For a government-run entity like the Airports Authority of India, infrastructure revamp of all airports simultaneously is a bit difficult because we have the capital constraints. So when we are privatizing an airport, we are giving the rights to a particular bidder for a limited period of time till the contract period ends. So there will be a profit sharing mechanism between the government and the private entity, whereas the entity will can run the airport because any private entity can run the airport maybe in a bit better transparent way, in a more profit oriented, because there are a lot of constraints that do exist for a government entity to run, because our like price fare, ticket price, parking fees, and everything is restricted so as to provide a better passenger centric that approach. But whereas if you are charging a very minimal amount, so with that amount, increasing the public facility to that international standard, at times it becomes a bit difficult because government has to incur the expenditure from its own pocket. So simultaneous development of international airports is a bit difficult. So that can be done in a very less time by handing over the airports to the private players.
What is the main reason for aircraft stress, financial stress on the aircraft industry?
Sir.
In India, especially, sir. Or around the world, it's the
Yes.
same thing.
So obviously the problem was existing before that because of there are reasons, because that like aircraft maintenance or the hiring of the crew and that ground staff, everything. And this situation was get more aggravated because of the COVID situation, because they have to run the that with the limited passengers, and they're hardly able to get like that much of minimum requirement of the passengers to meet the fuel cost also. But at the same time, they have to incur a lot to adhere to the government standards and the norms kept in place because of COVID restrictions. So that adds to the burden of the already existing stressed aviation sector. Apart from that, there is a competition that exists between the private players, and so as to like it is a cutthroat competition, so as to be like a live competitor in the aviation industry, they have to charge very aggressively by undercutting their like flight fares. So that also adds that also leads to the marginal profit to the private players, and that less profit situation added with the COVID situation. So that finally leads to a situation where we are seeing the aviation sector is under stress, and the staff and the pilots also facing the same. So that's why in the recent time we are seeing some of the incidents of so some mishaps in the mid-air while taking off or landing, and others. Like yesterday we heard a news of Express India. There was some fire accident before taking off. So those are the things. So.
Okay. If we see, because I'm asking you about your previous employer. If we see the track record of Airport Authority of India as compared to other similarly placed, economically placed countries, South Africa, um, South Korea, okay, and other such countries, if you see. So, do you think the Airport Authority of India matches with the international standard?
So there are two aspects of to this thing. One is very visible aspect when, as a passenger, we are seeing that thing. We see the infrastructure front and the comfort zone. So we see the terminal, we see the passenger facility, we see the lounges or the basic internet facilities that is given to. So that may not be up to the standard that we expect from a foreign countries, as in the case of South Korea or East Asian countries. Because of that, I already told sir, it was like the constraint is on the capital side. But whereas the second front and the most important thing is the aviation safety aspect. So that comes into the air navigation service, and Indian aviation market is one of the safest aviation because incident happened in the recent times, but that incident has not led to any kind of casualties or any mishaps because of the safety standards we kept in place. So as far as safety is concerned, we go for Suraksha with Seva. That was one of the highest motto of our service in that previous engagement. So for any type of equipments or the facilities we are kept in place of this that is related to the safety, we are putting main to the standby to the then next standby, next standby. The single point failure that is completely negated by taking lot of measures. And as far as equipment are concerned, we always procure the highest standard of equipment. We don't go for the bidding of that lowest one bidder. Those criteria are not kept in place for the aviation market. So lot of the equipments we have purchased from European and the American market just as to ensure we have initiatives and startups for the aviation related equipments. But still we have not given that credential, that because of that doubt in the credential one, we have not yet procured those equipments.
Okay. Fine. So, if I ask you to compare these two jobs as assistant collector and your previous job with airport authority, so what are the major changes that you feel?
Sir. Obviously, sir, on the previous job, it was more towards service oriented, and the service oriented is like we are giving and delivering service to the elite class at max to the middle class possible. No low, lowest strata persons able to travel or fly by air. And as we are, it is a hospitality kind of business. So where that service or the quality of service we are delivering, that matters a lot. And as it is an aviation sector, that it is a time bound thing. Everything has to be, we can't go for a 30-second delay also. So even the microseconds also we have to note down. And whereas safety standards, there is no compromise to the safety because any incident at the mid-air that leads to a catastrophic thing. And it is the aviation market, it attracts the attention of the global media. As far as the job nature is, that is more towards a, as it is a maintenance job. So it's that daily failure and the breakdown is not the case. So we have to be attentive and alert all the time so as to encounter, prevent any kind of any mishappening if it is takes place. Whereas in this, it is completely public service delivery kind of thing. We have to deal with different types of people. There are different problems that is not being taught in our training. Every day is a new situation. And there are a lot of things that is not scripted, or we don't find a government circular regarding that. We have to go by sometimes with our experience. We have to consult with our seniors, and sometimes by our what we feel that is morally correct. And just to ensure one, by going by our morality, we should not violate any statutory measures that is kept in place. So that's, I don't feel it's comparable as far as job delivery is concerned, service delivery in both the jobs.
Okay. You are basically from, as you can see from your schooling and college, you are from Malkangiri.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And currently you are posted in
Or Andy, sir.
Holandi. Hmm. Okay, so you're already working with the government, but still, uh, as a resident of Malkangiri,
Sir.
uh, how do you, make of this recent demands for creation of a separate state, let's say Hirakhand or Koshala? What is your opinion?
So this demand for the creation of Koshola Rajya is not very recent. It is there since long. And what I feel because of this recent, now the election time is there. So it is now again politically motivated. The demand for that one is more subtle in the perceptions of the like common people of those land, but it is being aggravated by the politically induced persons. They want to elevate the issue to gain some political interest out of that. And personally, sir, I don't believe in creating another state out of existing Odisha just to fulfill or just to give respect to the demands of these fringe groups. Because dividing a state, creating a new one won't serve the purpose. Just giving a special identity within Odisha, we are giving a special recognitions to Western Odisha people. We respect their festivals, we respect their dialects. Government has taken up new initiatives, schemes, and even infrastructural priorities to the Western Odisha. So unless and until that is being that those are the things when it is being fulfilled, I don't think creating a new state won't satisfy any other purpose.
Okay, you know the thing and answer this question. You know the condition of unemployment now.
Yes.
You are already in a secure job. You give me three, four good reasons why you should be selected again. You were selected last year also.
Sure.
So this year, suppose your friend is also, excuse me, attending the interview, and both of you have same marks in main exam. So only on basis of interview, one of you will be selected. That your friend, he's basically, let's say he has not been employed. Okay. So most of the panelists here have, let us say, think that he should be given an opportunity because, in a sense, you are already settled in a job. Hmm. So, how will you counter it, or what? How will you, react, or do you agree with this proposition, or what is your point of view?
So by looking at a very like a very layman side, it is a job opportunity or the livelihood thing. But by seeing into the nature of the job, we are standing in an era where just if suppose my friend is that eligible to try and crack this job, and he is, I guess he will be so that much empowered, so that if he willing to find any other job also, he can get it. It is not that much of deprived. As far as this job or the service is concerned, we look for a specific attitude, so that we have the public service mentality, we have that skill set, so that okay, we accommodate ourselves into the service so as to fulfill the demands and the aspirations of the lowest data persons at large. So as already I am into the service for some time by now already. I had a 6 years of service in a different like different it was a different sector. So I get some of the experience that I can better use in this one. So as a board member, if the persons, they have empowered to judge me, to evaluate my skill set, if they feel it okay, I am more deserving for this one compared to my friend, then I don't feel it. The question of unemployment comes into the point as of this service is concerned. But if suppose I got selected also, my post that is I am going to leave and come into this. So that also going to be added maybe by next year. So in a broader time, in a long period of time, this I am not going to block someone's position into the service.
So, um, considering your career growth in airport authority, uh, that is a central government job,
Yes,
right?
sir.
So I think the career growth and even the compensation was better than the current service you are in, but still you decided to join.
Yes.
Why? Give me some good reasons why.
So when we started preparation after graduations and all, obviously the money thing that matters because everyone wants to have a very peaceful and that lavish lifestyle. But once after doing the job, after starting the job, apart from the monetary fact, the satisfaction or the desire we have some expectation from the job apart from the monetary thing. That also matters. At times I used to feel in the previous job I am not able to serve to the like whatever I'm doing is just for my like breadwinning situation. I am not in a position to do anything for the. It's not like I after coming into this I'm doing miracles and all. But if in a day if I'm able to address the problem of at least one person, then also I feel satisfied. So the money the that is I'm losing. I have after that 7 to 8 months into the service, I never thought of that. Really matters to me.
Mhm. Okay. Now suppose uh, there is a issue. Let's say you have signed a certificate um, for a caste certificate for someone, and later on it is found that that is the credentials or whatever the person had given the documents and all that is not okay correct, or by fraudulent method he has made those documents. Your subordinates who basically checked it before giving it to you, they they have not seen it or they have overlooked it. But now the question is that the entire responsibility is coming on you. Okay, so in that case, how are you going to defend yourself or react or face this situation?
So obviously, as a signing authority, I have like because of my oversightness, I have signed the document. The responsibility falls on my head, and I'm ready to take the responsibility because of negligence of my duty towards the verification of the documents or the credentials. But in a long-term goal, if as you said, sir, that fraudulent documents he has produced because of the ground verification, because as a additional tahsildar or tahsildar, they have to rely on the ground verification that is being done by the revenue inspectors and for the subordinates. So for the immediate measure, if government want to like take a action to put their to justify that point that I have done something wrong, I'm ready to bear that one because I don't have because I had a signing authority, I don't have anything to defend for that. But obviously, I'll suggest in a longer term that like whatever the things we have to rely on the field verification, government should strengthen those process by suppose we can put some like doubly ensuring thing that before giving an only based on the RI report, we can also ask physical verifications of the credentials of those applicants. They can come to the office of Tahsildar or the Tahsildar or additional Tahsildar. They can physically verify those things with the applications they have filed on the website, so that we can have a doubly check so as to ensure these things should not happen in the later future.
Okay. This is your which attempt in the exam?
So fourth, sir.
This is your fourth attempt.
Yes.
And which number interview?
Third one.
Third interview. Okay, you have taken geography and home science.
Sir.
Your knowledge of these two subjects, has it helped you in your in doing the work of assistant collector?
Yes, sir.
You can give some real examples.
Yes, sir. Sir, recently, sir, we have all have seen before 20 days, we have seen an continuous rainfall because of the depressions. And with that, we have faced a lot of immediate damages, road blockages, damage to the house, partially and completely damaged, crop loss, inundation, that mud cover onto the agri lands and all those things. When we for the first time when I have seen the circulars of the SRCs, so if suppose I'm a geography optional person, we have gone through the reasons, cause, even the terminologies of those things as a optional student. When we are seeing that circulars for the first time, it's not that easy, not that difficult, or we don't find any alienated term to understand the things. We know the causes, we know the consequences. Even sometimes, even our DM madam is also asking for, okay, what are the reasons why we can't declare it as a crop loss or the immediate measure. We can't claim it for a higher crop loss. So the government is ready to give. And as a geography optional, we know that if we are declaring this one as a crop loss, maybe immediately the next sowing season, we can't, next harvesting season, we can't sow it as a bumper crop. So we have to take a middle path. So those are some of the practical thing we do in integrate to the optional thing. As far as the home science is concerned, sir, this home science paper to extension service, that is what we are doing in the day-to-day basis as a public servant. The only thing is that we are bound by our constraints of the whatever the manpower, the mechanism that given to us by the government. But from the knowledge of this extension education, we are now, so there is a drive it is going on. It is a linking of Aadhaar card with the voter ID. This is an initiative of ECI, and we are doing it in a work footing manner. And Kalahandi and I was looking after this one, and Kalahandi was continuously in the first spot for the continuous 17 days. How it is possible? Because we have taken I have taken the experience of this extension education. We have engaged, apart from the BLOs, the civil societies, the pressure groups, the SHGs, and other, even the students also, sir. Because we have seen it, I have read it many a times during my preparation in home science, how to get the confidence of the rural people. There is an speculations, okay, we are not supposed to give the Aadhaar document, there will be a leakage of thing and all. So we made them understood, okay, this is a linking procedure, we are not seeding it. You are not giving a OTP authentication, so your information is completely secure. The whole process is just to eliminate the duplicate voters. So by that, it obviously helped me. What I feel, those two, both the subjects are relevant in this public service.
Okay, fine. Have you heard about this term Nord Stream?
Yes, sir. Nord Stream, it was a gas pipeline. Russia is providing natural gas to European countries, because European countries has to rely on natural gas for heating and other equipments, other facilities, because the winter is long and severe over the European region. Now, because of this war, there is a conflict between both European front and Russia. Russia wants to show its supremacy because it is providing a major chunk of natural gas through the pipeline, because most of the European states are landlocked. So they can't have access to the port. So they have to rely on this pipeline. And pipeline is a mega civil project that can't be done in a day or two. So immediately, if the European countries are cutting ties with the Russia, just as to, because Russia is doing aggression. So in the immediate basis, they have to suffer a lot, and the economy can also crumble. So those are the things that is going on.
Do you support Russia's decision to invade Ukraine?
Obviously, the broader decision of invading a sovereign country is not at all acceptable in this era of time. But there are reasons why Russia has taken the aggressive step, because of it has its own fears towards the Ukraine, because of the inclination towards NATO, the provocation of United States repeatedly, they are going to include Ukraine as a part of NATO. Because at the time of 1991 USSR disintegration, also Russia has witnessed that role of NATO and Western countries they have played in that disintegration. So to ensure that the similar thing won't happen in the next time, Russia has done this aggression. But in seeing this in this era, this is not acceptable, because war is not the solution for any kind of adverse situation.
What is between this, Taiwan and China? If you know something about the history and currently why there is tension between them.
Yes. So broadly, China has a policy of one China policy. China do not acknowledge the sovereignty of Taiwan, but Taiwan has, and the problem is, what I remember is around 15 countries in the whole world that recognize Taiwan as a sovereign country. So as there is no recognition, broader or global recognition to Taiwan, so it has not able to establish diplomatic relation. Otherwise, Taiwan have a very large semiconductor industry. So economically, lot of countries have economic ties with Taiwan, but because of the China pressure, lot of the other countries, majority of the countries are not able to recognize Taiwan, and Taiwan has not got the recognition of United Nations also. Whereas China don't want Taiwan to get the separate state recognition because it has already a one China policy. And the recent time, China, because of this visit of US representative speaker to Taiwan, that has instigated China to demonstrate its muscle power or the army strength by conducting the missile test and the military activity.
Yesterday, our foreign minister said that we are having one border issue less with China now. What he was referring to?
Sorry, sir, I have not gone through that.
Okay. Recently, any troop disengagement has been there in the LAC
Sorry,
within last 2-3 days.
sorry, I didn't go to that.
Okay. So, fine. So that will be the end of the interview.
Thank you.
Feedback on ଆପଣଙ୍କର ତ ପ୍ରଥମତଃ first year ବି interview ରେ କିଛି ମତେ problem ଦେଖାଗଲା ଗୋଟେ contrarian view ଦେଖିଲେ maybe ସେଇଟା ତ ଦରକାର ଆପଣଙ୍କର ସ୍ମାଇଲ୍ ସେଟା ତ ସବୁ ଠିକ ଅଛି ଆକ୍ଚୁଆଲି ଫର୍ଷ୍ଟ ଇୟର ବି ଠିକ ଥିଲା କାହିଁକି ଆପଣ ଲାଷ୍ଟ ଟାଇମ୍ ମାର୍କସଟା ସେମାନେ ଇଏ କଲେ ତ ସେଇ ଫ୍ୟାକ୍ଟରଟା ଟିକେ ଦେଖିବା ପାଇଁ ପଡିବ। Just stop recording.